U11. This phone was just announced by HTC. The biggest and most prominent feature of the phone is the way you interact with this. HTC is calling it Edge Sense technology. This means is that you can squeeze the phone in order to do things, like unlocking the phone, launching voice commands, taking pictures. And if you didn't hear that, I said squeeze the phone. Now, EdgeSense has basically two levels, a short press and a long press. Unfortunately, I think that HTC missed out on a good opportunity to use pressure intensity of sorts. It would be great if they had some kind of like 3D touch alternative with the squeeze feature, but that's something that they didn't implement. The pressure that's required to use EdgeSense is actually something that you customize, and it's something that's done at the start or during the customization settings, and that's really where it ends. I got to play around with this feature, and it was interesting. At first, it's really weird and requires you to think about what you're doing. Once you get used to the squeeze though, it becomes kind of like a very natural feeling motion. I'm still not convinced that this feature is for the camera, because every time you squeeze the phone, the pressure required to take the picture kind of like vibrates the phone a little bit. Just pick up any object and squeeze a little bit. It will shake because of the amount of pressure that you're putting into. So I feel that made me constantly worried that the pictures would turn out blurry. For everything else though, it's a really cool, innovative new idea, so kudos to HTC for thinking outside the box. The functionality of EdgeSense is currently limited, with only a few apps natively supported. HTC expects to launch a companion app that allows the functionality to be extended to other apps as well. This phone is IP67, which means the phone can survive underwater for a few minutes. And since EdgeSense is not based on the kind of technology that screens work on, which is capacitive touch, HTC says that it should work underwater as well. Seems like a great way to take underwater selfies, but I think that's all just marketing. I do not recommend taking a phone underwater anyways. Similar to the HTC U Ultra, the U11 has the 4-mic system. It's a unidirectional system, and in the U11 they are always on mics. What's really good is that the phone is the first to support Amazon's Alexa voice system. In addition to this, U11 also supports Google Assistant and HTC's own voice assistant called HTC Sense. You might notice that the U11 has a lot in common with the U Ultra, which isn't necessarily a good thing. However, thankfully, other than some of the good design aspects of the U Ultra and the camera, that's kind of where the similarities end. The camera on the U11 is a very similar configuration to the U Ultra. The primary rear-facing camera is HTC's ultra-pixel 12 megapixel camera thing. It's got the super fast laser autofocus. It's got the same f1.8 aperture. It has optical image stabilization, and it takes some really good pictures. You can also record in 4K. These are all great things, and best of all, unlike the U Ultra, the camera bump in this is almost non-existent, which is exactly how it should have been to start with. The phone also comes with a respectable 16 megapixel front-facing camera, which is a wide-angle lens and has a f2.0 aperture, but it doesn't have OIS, and nor can it shoot in 4K. Nothing groundbreaking, it's practically the same thing as the U Ultra. And thanks to the unidirectional 4-mic system that HTC has in this phone, HTC claims that the phone does something called zoom audio. What this means is that when you zoom your camera, which is the pinch to zoom, the audio also focuses along with the camera zoom. So sure, why not? Let's get some 3D audio. With the audio, this leads me to the phone's actual audio. Now, the phone boosts boom sound, and we did hear the words hi-fi and acoustic chambers, which HTC claims the phone is. Sounds promising, but to me it actually seems similar to the HTC U Ultra. That's a bit disappointing because I didn't actually really like the U Ultra's boom sound system. I think it's not the way it used to be. They should really make the boom sound more reminiscent of the older days. The U11, like the Ultra, doesn't have a headphone jack, but what HTC gives you is a USB-C to audio jack converter. This is something that was missing in the U Ultra. What's even cooler, what I love about this, is that the USB to audio jack is actually a DAC. Audiophiles, be happy. It doesn't stop there though. HTC claims its U-Sonic headphones, which were excellent even with the Ultra, have been upgraded to include active noise cancellation, and the phone still does that whole audio profiling thing, which is customized or personalized based on the actual ear canal shape. Seems to work great, why not? Before I talk about the design, let's talk a bit more about power and performance. The battery on the U11 is still that minuscule 3000 mAh battery. I don't know why they continue to do this. I think they should have upgraded to 3400 or even bigger, but the phone's not that huge, so whatever. The phone still supports Qualcomm's Quick Charge 3.0, which to me is quick to charge but quick to drain. Thankfully, things pick up from there. The U11 rocks Qualcomm's latest and greatest Snapdragon 835, which you can only find in the Galaxy S8 right now, so that's a win. For the UAE, the phone comes only in one variant, which is the 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. I'll have that, thank you very much. As far as the design go, all throughout this video you can tell that the phone is quite the looker, but that's from the back. From the front, you still have those big chins above and below the screen. Not as pretty as the S8, still I don't think it's bad to look at. What's noticeably missing from the U11 is the lack of that secondary screen, which again was more of a fad feature, so whatever. The design overall is a huge step up from the Ultra, almost no camera bump and a lot better use of space overall. The phone felt great in the hand and I personally quite liked it. The back of the phone is still covered with using HTC's own method, giving it that liquid look, and they have a new color to flaunt this beautiful process. They call it Solar Red, which is this ever-changing mix of red and gold. I was completely stunned, and it's really weird because I actually hate gold phones. So HTC really well done with this one. The other colors are Sapphire Blue, Excellent White, and Brilliant Black, though there was this other light blue silver color as well. Regarding the release date, the phone will be available around the first week of June in Dubai, even though it ships May 18th in some countries. The U11 should cost less than the S8, but what's a bit of a bummer is that Alexa, which is really run by Amazon, will first launch in the USA, UK, and Germany with no clue about when it launches in this region. And that's English only. Also, that beautiful Solar Red is set to launch a little bit later. Personally, I would wait for that color because it is gorgeous. It looks different from every angle. I think they really knocked it out of the park with this one. So, as far as the phone goes overall, there are still some things missing here and there, but I think it's a pretty good phone. It's definitely a step up from the U Ultra, which I'm sure everybody will be comparing it to, and I think they're finally bringing the game up to the S8, the G6, and the Pixel. So what do you think about the new HTC EdgeSense Squeeze feature? Are you ready to squeeze a phone, or is that just a really weird thing to say? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the first look at the HTC U11. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a good one.